Associates, Heather Petrone-Shook and Ernest Key. And
Hey,
today, say hello.
Hey guys.
hola.
Hi.
Hi.
We're going to talk about being the solution in everything that's going on right now and some real estate related stuff. So, how are you both doing?
Hey, I woke up this morning. That's all that counts.
That's right. I'm well too. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah, I'm living a dream. Quarantine.
Living the dream.
Yeah, living a dream.
Exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we've been focused this week on there she goes with her realtor mug.
Yeah, but look, did you see my shirt? She's trying to show off. I can show off too
You know
now.
what? The two of you. Really?
Yeah, come on now.
Show offs.
You didn't get the memo, Maria.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have a real tour shirt. I don't.
One. It's bedazzled. It's bedazzled.
It is bedazzled. I'll take it. I like bedazzles. So it's been quite a week.
It's been interesting.
Hasn't it?
Today's Friday, right?
Today's Friday.
I think so.
We've been learning so much this week about how to conduct real estate in a virtual environment. Heather, you said that you had a contract that you were working on. You got an offer that came in. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Now, the house was shown way before shutdown. This buyer went and got their financing straightened out, and their agent submitted an offer to us. So it's not like they went and saw the property, but I was able through Zoom to pull the contract up in front of my clients, go over it, highlight things, talk about it. And the two clients I had are, family members not living in the same state. So the three of us were on the same call, 3 different states, reviewing the same contract, on the same page, able to see each other, discuss things. I may never go back to face-to-face meetings ever again. And I only had to be formal from the waist up.
Right.
I haven't moved out of my slippers in days.
Oh man. Yeah, I was going to go there, but I'm not going to go there. Yeah.
What's the problem? But I'm dressed, showered, hair.
Oh yeah, no, I get showered and dressed. I just haven't gotten out. I haven't put on a pair of real shoes other than my slippers in at least a week and a half now.
And why should you? At least be comfy.
Yeah.
Be comfy.
Well, Maria, when I saw you the other day, you weren't comfy. You had pearls on and a silk blouse. You need to get comfy too.
I have my pearls on today, and I have a different type of blouse on. But yes, I'm dressed for work from the waist up anyway. Although these pants, if it was warmer out, they could work. But they're more for going out than for work attire. But I think it's important for your mindset that you get up every day, you shower first thing. I could tell you on Monday and Tuesday, I never showered until like 7:30 at night. And that's because I was like, oh my God, I have to, I'm getting sick of myself. I have to go freshen up. But by Wednesday, I was like, all right, I got to get into a routine. I think it's understandable for all of us, right? Like we're not used to this. We're used to getting up, going, being out of the house. I don't know what time you guys start your day usually, but I'm out of the house by between 8 and 8:30. And so I'm up and dressed and out the door, and I haven't left my house at all since Saturday. How about you?
I'm headed out today. I got to walk down my back alley and pull out some weeds. But other than that, I haven't gone anywhere since they locked us down on Friday. I've stayed in the house. I have done more cooking in the last week than I've done in the last few months because we're never home. Usually in spring market, sun is up later. We're out longer. It's a little bit of a change, It's a little bit of a change.
It's a big change. I was supposed to go to Costco with my wife and kid, but I have to do this live with you and Heather, so I might be in here for a couple more hours and then take a walk, maybe, and stay 6 feet away from everyone else.
Well, it's a good day to get a walk in for sure. So one of the things that we were talking about in my office was how we can still sell real estate while we're in the virtual world. And we came up with some ideas. You know, we fortunately we have a 3D camera, so we've been taking 3D virtual streaming tours over the last few weeks. We've been doing it since August, but not for every single property. So we went back to every property we have a listing and getting those tours out. We've seen that if before it was at 10%, it's now at 75% from a scale of 1 to 100% of views. So that's pretty exciting. We know that there's buyers sitting at home still wanting to buy because we're doing video Zoom consults with them. How about Heather and Ernest? Are you both doing Zoom conferences for buyer consults or?
Yeah, I just signed up a buyer yesterday and we did a consult. And fortunately and unfortunately, they're in the medical field, so they're going to go into quarantine today, actually. So I won't see them or be able to talk to them for a little while, but we got everything set up so when they have downtime, they'll be able to, virtually check online. And we're going to correspond through a couple of the portals as to properties they like and what they don't like, and if they want extra, photos or something else, to ask the agent, the listing agent, to ask the seller to take a picture of something, and that's how we're doing it. I think next week we're going to see a big shift with everybody getting on board from this week with the new way of doing things. Mm-hmm. That we're going to see a shift next week where people are, catching up.
I agree 100%. I think this week a lot of people took a pause to say, okay, how are we going to operate in this new reality? And they're just sitting back, and people do have to still buy homes and people still have to sell homes, right? I'm a home buyer. I'm actually still committed to making a purchase. This has not derailed my husband and I from wanting to do that. So I think that's a lot of people. It's interesting to see how much more efficient we can become as real estate agents, as realtors, what we can do for our clients. One of the things you mentioned, Heather, just now, we were talking about this, is not only just taking the pictures, but what about if we set up a virtual walkthrough with the seller, the seller's agent, the buyer's agent, and all four of us are on Zoom or whatever, FaceTime, Facebook, whatever it is, and we're actually doing a walking tour. The buyer then is comfortable. Wow, I really love this house. Great. Let's put an offer together contingent upon a 2-day walking through the property 2 days after the ban is lifted. So now we're stacking the opportunities, right, for our buyers. We already know it's low inventory. I mean, I looked on the in the MLS this week in Philadelphia County, less than 100 homes came on the market. Yep. So inventory is super low. We can use the coming soon status to promote the listing for the next 21 days to see. So we could be talking to our clients about, hey, you're thinking you really still want to sell. Great. Let me do. I've already, before this, did 15% of my consults online. Actually, I didn't do Zoom calls for all of them, but I did phone calls. We're going to all Zoom calls now. How many? I know you said you had, Heather, you have 7 Zoom calls today.
So yesterday was 5, today's 7. I've got 2 already lined up on Saturday morning. So
yeah, that's great.
Business is moving forward.
I know. I think I did. I know this morning I've already had 5, which is crazy. It's like the same thing, back-to-back appointments, except I'm still sitting in one spot, except for, to get a cup of tea or to pee.
The only thing I wish I would have gotten the chair from my office before the lockdown.
No, I got this.
Oh, right.
I got this comfy chair. I actually, my office is a 3rd bedroom, and half of it is a closet and half of it is an office. So behind me is the closet section of it, and then in front of me is where all the shelves are and all my books, and I had to clean it because otherwise I wouldn't have been able. We had to actually go through the entire office on Sunday, take everything out, so I could operate come Monday morning. I think we lost Ernest.
I think we lost Ernest.
Oh no. So anyway, you're set up in your dining room with your beautiful butterfly behind you.
Yes, but if we shift to here, I'll shift to the side and the bunny.
and her buddies. Don't forget, Easter is coming up.
But it was canceled.
Passover. We can't cancel them. I don't think you can cancel Easter or Passover. I don't think we can cancel them.
Listen, anything's possible these days. I mean, I asked my father-in-law if we're going to do the Easter egg hunt, and he said as long as we stay 6 feet away from each other.
We can't touch the eggs. I don't know. I don't think you can do it. I don't think you could do it. So what other things, Heather, are you doing? I know we've been talking about doing the Zoom meetings. We have the coming soon feature I was just mentioning where sellers we can walk through their home virtually with them, right? Online.
Yeah.
We can do the whole consult with them.
But it's very important also for agents when you are setting up your clients to make sure that you're checking the active listings as well as the coming soons to make sure your clients are getting the coming soon listings so they can also filter through them because sometimes
you're talking about the setup.
Yeah, the setup. So that is important, and also with the sellers, I'm making sure that they understand technology. We have some sellers that are not technologically sound. So I'm taking time to go through that with a couple of my sellers to make sure they understand how to use the camera and how to hold it landscape versus, portrait mode, how to flip the camera around to go from seeing you to, the camera instead of doing one of these.
Right.
So, the other thing is I'm just checking in. Checking in with clients that I know who are, either single or living alone or something like that. And just checking in with other clients just to say, hey, just thinking about you, making sure you're okay and what's happening. Hey, welcome back, Ernest.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing here.
But just checking in with clients, just to touch base with them and say, hey, the real estate market, these are the changes. I call it the state of the real estate market. I have, basically it's updates because it's constantly changing on us. So they're not sure. Right now in my arsenal, I have listings that want to come on, but they're not 100% sure should they come on, what's going to look like, days on market, what's coming soon. Like we can't even put signs out right now.
Right.
So, it's ever changing.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that we're doing is we're speaking to our clients and our sphere of influence and everybody, past clients, and it's basically, how are you doing? Like,
right.
Are you healthy? Are you safe? Is your family okay?
Do you need anything?
We're a resource. Let's be the solution. Let's be a resource for them. And that's how we always should be anyway, but now it's even more prevalent and it has to be the first thing. And we're actually not talking about real estate with our clients at all unless they want to talk to us about real estate. So, I mean, the active clients is a little different because we need to educate them about what we're doing still to get the property sold 100%. But even people we've been talking to that want to sell, we're like, okay, take a minute. First, how's everybody doing? And then does it make sense right now? Or should we take a pause? And I think you do need to address it. I think if you don't address it, it's like the big elephant, the white elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. So.
And each is different. And I don't know, Ernest, if you're running into this too, but you've got clients who have kids, ones who don't, vacant properties. So it's a different, tactic for all different, situations. So.
Customized solutions for everybody. Because hey, if it's a piece of vacant land, we could sell it. I think we have a couple offers in right now for for vacant land. We just got a new listing for a duplex that somebody could build on vacant land. So people do want to do something. It's our job as a real estate professional to figure out how we can best serve our clients and getting through this. So I'm like coming up with now like an entire list of new protocols, even instructions, that written instructions to show us to give to a seller. Here's what you're going to do now. This is what we need you to do to take the picture, to do the video, because that's the only way we can get it done right now. And some people need to move to Florida or Arizona or Ohio or wherever they're going. And, I am concerned though, Heather, about tenants. Like there's a lot of leases that come due in end of April, May, June, July, our biggest months of leasing property, and at least here in Philadelphia. And what happens to the tenants whose landlords are like, you know what, your lease is up at the end of May and I'm selling the property. What do they do? How do they see property?
Well, and that's been an issue too. So we're trying to switch over all of our rental properties to video tours, but the property is
Get them
occupied. If it's occupied, we're not doing it. If it's also a common entrance, so the first floor unit's vacant, but the second and third floor have tenants in it, not doing it. We're not doing showings. We've talked to the landlords, and the landlords have said, their tenants aren't, don't feel safe, and we completely understand, So there really isn't much you can do right now. And you're right. It's this market. And Ernest, you deal with, with rentals as well. There really isn't much that you can do right this second.
So do you think
and listen, I just want to touch on something too. The other elephant in the room, so to speak, is what do you do as a landlord if your tenants can't pay you rent?
Yeah.
Because I own some rental properties and I have that issue now. Like, how do you handle that?
There's actually an amendment to that you can get. I actually have a copy of it, Ernest. I can send it over to you.
Okay.
It's about a 90-day. It's a case-by-case basis, but depending on if you have a loan against the property or if it's a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan, there is provisions in there that there could be a hold for the mortgage to be paid. Therefore, you can defer and delay the rental. That's the rent money that's due.
Mm-hmm.
So there are things that they have in place, but I think we're essential business, right? I think shelter is essential. So
yeah, I thought so too.
I mean, in other states it's essential, but it's not in Pennsylvania. That's frustrating.
It is.
You know what they're doing about that?
Well, I know, PAR, NAR, GPAR, MCAR, BCAR. I know they're all working to try and get to a solution. It's obviously they're not putting it out on the front lines, but they are working behind the scenes. I'm sure you guys saw posts. And if you don't follow me for updates from PAR and GPAR as to what they've been working on. I mean, they've been working on extending our CE to August. So now we have until August to complete our CE. They were working on that. That was something they wanted to get out of the way too. They're working on other things and other legislation. I mean, look at the notary, the notary that came out this morning. So they're working on stuff. Obviously, if you put everything out there, everybody's got an opinion. So they got to do what they need to do behind the scenes to get things done without having too many hands in the cookie jar.
Yeah. Do you think we'll have any info on that, like in the next week, or do you think it's
the
bottom of the pile?
It's every day. Every day there's something changing. Every day there's something new. A new rule. Who knows what's going to happen in the next week. So we just got to stay tuned. Trust in the system. Also, write your legislators. Let them know what's going on, how you feel. Talk to the powers that be. If you haven't friended Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, make sure you do. If you have not signed up for your Just Listed, campaign, so what's going on and you're up to the minute on things, then do that. Go to parealtors.org. Make sure you sign in. So
now more than ever, it's extremely important to be, I think, diligent about. He's killing me.
It's who we are.
That's right.
I don't think that's really fair.
What?
They could have made a sign at least.
Yeah. What are you talking about, MQ? This whole thing? Oh, no. This is just a T-shirt. That's it. There's nothing.
Maria, it's in your heart.
It is.
That's right.
It is for 16 years now. It's crazy.
It's in your heart.
It's crazy. I think it would be great if we gave updates, like maybe on a weekly basis. Heather, you can let us know what's going on from a legislative standpoint.
Absolutely. Every time I get a notice, right away I want to put it out there.
Yeah, so I don't think everybody reads the stuff. I think we can go on social. We do another stream and let everybody know. What we're finding literally on a day-to-day basis, we are coming up with more strategies to how we can still sell real estate in today's environment. And I think it's important to let the community know that we're here to support them and that we haven't stopped working. We're working, quite frankly, even harder right now, right? I mean, I'm putting 14-hour days in. I was doing like 10 to 12 before, but 14 and haven't left the house.
Well, it's also important to listen to your broker, your manager, make sure that you're the information filtered down from your company, because there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of keyboard warriors, a lot of opinions.
Right.
Make sure you're always circling back, and talk to your broker, your manager, so you make sure you're on par with what your company is doing.
Exactly. And that's a good point, because I know it's tough right now for us 1099 employees, but we can't make a mistake and get too anxious and jeopardize our license and
Or
people's health.
independent contractor.
Right.
And a contractor.
Independent contractors. And
Well,
a lot of us rely on our commission checks to live, and we do get anxious to make money, but at the same time, there are mandates in place that we have to follow, unfortunately, so we don't jeopardize our license, and more importantly, our health or the consumer's health. So,
Yeah.
just tough.
that's why you got to stay in the house. Do your
Safety
part.
Right.
Stay in the house.
And get on Zoom and whatever this thing is. What is this thing you got me on, MQ? Be Live? What is this?
Live.
Be Live. I can't see you for some reason.
Because
That's okay. You
because-
look good.
it's because you're
She
on
looks good. I guess she didn't want to see me for some reason.
we
Why are
can
you avoiding me?
we can see you.
Oh, you can see me, but I can't see you.
No,
No, but we are streaming live, so
everybody
Okay.
else can see you too.
Oh, shoot. That's interesting. So, Maria, we were talking yesterday, and you mentioned something about a routine and how it's important to have a routine. So, what is your routine, and why is that important to have one?
yeah, absolutely. So 7:30 this morning we did role play, and handling how to talk in this environment. It's not funny, Kevin.
Was you laughing at the role play?
What? Nope.
We did
Yo,
role
you
play.
you have to
With
stop.
your team, right, Maria? With your team. you did role play.
Yeah, she's talking about real estate
Not
role
with my
play.
team.
Yeah, this is not 50 Shades of Grey role play.
Jeez, you make
Yeah.
me red. I'm turning the color of my shirt. Now role play with the team. Just talking about the new addendum that we're using, being able to explain it to clients properly,
Oh, yeah.
utilizing the right verbiage, because a lot of the things that regular things we did, we're adding on top of that. So explaining like how we're working right now and what we're doing to protect them and the contract. And so I think it's important to go over that. We do that 7:30, 8. We jump on a company call, so everybody's on it at 8 a.m. That usually goes to 8:30, 8:45, depending. And from there, I start my calls, my Zoom calls. I had a call with a business associate. I had a call with my accountant. I had an agent interview call after that, all on Zoom. And then I had a half hour where I checked emails, responded to messages, responded to my team. And now here we are. And then after this, I have 4 more Zooms, and then we're doing an office happy hour.
I've gone to more happy hours on Zoom since the lockdown than I went in person before.
Right.
This is our first happy hour on Zoom, so we're doing it with the office. So excited about that. I don't know what I'm gonna have today. A little bubbly, a little vodka, a wine. Anyway, it's important first thing though. I mean, I get up, a shower, stretch. Figuring out when I'm going to get a workout in. That's coming this weekend. So I'm going to have that laid out next week. This week I was getting my mindset around being able to work properly from home and being efficient working from home, because I haven't done this in a very, very long time. I mean, you both know I have an office. I go there every day. I have all my people there, which I love, and I miss them, and I can't wait for us to all be back together. So, and then in the evening, I try to read a little bit. I then, my husband is great. He's phenomenal. Cooks dinner. We eat, and then I get back online for the next hour or so, and then I might just relax for an hour, and then I hit the bed by 10. So that's my day.
HP, same question to you. What is your routine?
Yeah, sorry. Actually, I was looking up 2 other things to remind me about forms. So if you get up in the morning, come down, let the dog out, make my coffee, get ready, make sure that my table is set up with all of my computers because I'm using the dining room table right now. So I have to clear it for dinner every night. But just making sure that I check in with my mother. She gives me the Corona update. So, there's a family group chat. She tells us, she's okay, that everything's all right, that, this is what she ate. This is what the update is. Make sure you take vitamin C, make sure you take Tylenol, so that's the update, and just trying to do work, get through that. And then I have to remind myself what day it is. I have to. I am finding myself going, what day is it? And I have to remind myself 3 times in the morning. So I'll get up and say, today is Friday. Today is Friday. Today is Friday. So I remember what day it is, and then I just, I work around the house. We have a lot of stuff to donate. So I'm kind of hoping that, a lot of kitchen stuff, a lot of, around the house stuff. So maybe there's a few charities we can donate to. Maybe people who didn't have anything or, need some kitchen supplies. We'll be able to help out after we're done. But it's pretty much the morning routine, into the
Right.
Yesterday, I didn't even realize it. It was 5:30 by the time I finished up my last call, and the day just disappeared.
Yeah, I'm having that same issue too. And I think in a weird way, our routines kind of play into that. Like you're so used to having a routine, but when you add that to the fact that we're quarantined, time is dissipating a little quicker than usual for me anyway. And my days are getting blurry too. I feel like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
I can't wait to get outside. Like I'm looking outside of my dining room and my deck is waiting for me and I can't wait to do that. And I'm going to put up my umbrella today. I might take everything else outside for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I was going to say we can leave our homes. We're not incarcerated. You can leave the door. Yeah.
But it slightly feels
we're
like
going to get hopefully, as long as the weather permits, we're going to get the deck, our roof deck, all ready to go. We have a hot tub up there, so we're going to get that cleaned out and get that back on. And
is that an invitation, MQ? Is that an invitation?
Absolutely is not an invitation.
Oh.
Stay away.
Damn, you made that sound good. Hot tub and decks and
we're practicing social distancing.
Well, how big is the hot tub? Because we have to stay 6 feet away. So if it's 8 feet.
No, it fits like 6 people.
Maybe. Oh well, yeah. Isn't it? We can do points.
Not about your hot. All right.
So Sunday creating the giveaway a donation boxes, probably a truckload of stuff. My husband goes, I don't understand how you have all this stuff. He's like, you have stuff from before. We've been here for 8.5 years. You have stuff I've never seen before. And I've known you for 11 years. I've never even seen this stuff. So Sunday is the day. That's what we did last Sunday. We went through stuff. By the end of this house will have nothing in it. It will be empty of stuff. But anyway.
So real quick, 2 forms that might be helpful to agents that's in the PAR arsenal of forms is the change in terms addendum was altered more recently to extend the dates. So if you look, it's now 2 pages. So there are more timelines that you can change. So if you have a contract where you need to extend inspections or title or mortgage or commitment or anything, there are more of them on there so you can fill in with the line numbers and paragraphs and everything. So that's been extended. The other thing is there's a pre-settlement walkthrough form for a buyer. A lot of agents are having buyers that are waiving their pre-settlement. They don't want to do a pre-settlement. They're okay with it.
Wow.
You need CYA. All right. So there's a form in our forms arsenal that talks about, or they call it library, call it arsenal, that in our forms library that talks about pre-settlement. You have buyers who are going to the pre-settlement walkthroughs alone. So you might want to send them with a checklist, but also this form, has on there that, hey, this was not fixed. This was not repaired. I do accept the property. I did a walkthrough and everything's okay. And they sign off on it.
That's cool.
Check it out. And I know it begins with a PW. I can't remember the third initial. So
Excellent. Thanks,
Yeah.
Heather. That's very helpful.
Yeah, that is.
That's very helpful. Well, we're all about being the solution, and I'm grateful that you both were able to come on the live stream today. We could do this again next week if you like, to give updates about what happened over the last week. Heather, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of updates that are coming down from the state and the government. Also, I would mention, please look out for that stimulus package that's coming.
Yep.
To see if you qualify to submit for that. I know we're anxiously awaiting it. I talked to the accountant this morning, and they're waiting for it to get passed through Senate. So,
I think I read today that it did pass. I think I read that it's a $2 trillion package that got passed. I just have to confirm that. So yeah, that is good information.
Yep. We're gonna see a lot of changes.
Yeah.
I think, it's not the end of the changes.
No, and it's time for some changes, I think.
Yeah. And before we go, I wanted to touch on that. Like, how do we look after all this is over? Is there any room for optimism?
Absolutely.
I'm optimistic.
Okay, reasonably so, because I'm an optimistic person too, but I also am a realist. So let's be real with the people. Is there room to be optimistic? I'm gonna start with you first, Heather, because the last time I had one of your classes, you yelled at me for being on my phone. And you know I'm a realtor and I gotta be on my phone to make money, and you yelled at me for being on my phone. So I'm gonna call on you first. Is there room to be optimistic after this is all over?
Okay, well, first of all, if you've ever been in any of my classes, I yell at everybody to get off their phones and off their tablets. So it's not just you. But yeah, no, there's room. There's room. We can weather this storm. We'll come out on the other side. I am worried about people's mental health. So please make sure you're checking in with everybody. I worry about that, and people in depression, and, get out and get some vitamin D, and make sure you also put on some sunscreen too, and get out there and wave to your neighbors, wave to people, talk to people. I think we're going to come out on the other side. We're learning a lot of new things, a lot of new technology that I think is going to be carried through after this is over. There'll be no excuse why you can't review the contracts with your clients before they just DocuSign them.
Exactly. That's a good point. Very good point. And with Zoom, you can do screen share. Exactly.
Which, if anybody would like to learn, I'll be more than happy to do a Zoom meeting with you to teach you how to utilize it.
That's a great point. Yeah, and I feel the same way as you. I feel like there's definitely room for optimism. I believe this is going to make us better agents. We're going to be more efficient. To Maria's point she made earlier about efficiency. So yeah, I'm definitely optimistic.
We're going to weather the storm.
Right. And I'm going to say this. I know it's going to be controversial, but I'm just an honest person. But I think a lot of agents that shouldn't be in the business are going to go away. I know that sounds messed up, but
see, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say that, because there's even agents who should be in the business who are going to possibly hang up their hat because they need to do something else to support their family at this time.
Right.
There are options that people can look into. They just extended the time frame for renewing your license, so people have the option of escrowing their license for right now if they have to do something else to support their family. Or they're gonna, you might see some people who before you thought weren't worthy, in your own personal opinion, who rise to the top, and others who you thought were sink. So keep your eye out.
I get your point, but that was one of my optimistic points. And I understand what you. No, listen. I'm just being an honest person. I do get your point, Heather. Sometimes an agent isn't bad; they just made a mistake. And we're all human. We all make mistakes. I'm not trying to sit up here and say I'm a perfect anything, but then there's other agents that are really bad people. And if we're being real and honest, we have some bad eggs that need to go away. So.
I believe in educating people. So even if you see a bad egg, just because it's cracked doesn't mean it's bad. So maybe you turn that into a hard-boiled egg or a scrambled egg, or you turn it into, an over easy. Don't throw
Okay,
it.
so
Don't throw it.
the next time I come across one of these agents, I'll be sure to give them your name and number so you
Go
can make
ahead.
them an omelet.
You go right ahead.
Okay,
Right ahead.
and I appreciate you taking the challenge. You're the best.
I believe in education, and that's the whole thing. When you feel like there's something that needs to be done, and I'm open. You have a problem, you have a situation. If something isn't right, come to me and say, hey, I don't think this is correct, or vice versa. Don't.
Right.
And this is one of the things. If you can't talk around the water cooler, talk to the person. Talk
Right.
to them. Hey, maybe you didn't realize this. Maybe you didn't understand what was coming down. Educate.
Well,
Educate.
I think it has to do with also not keeping it inside, right? Being honest. I think being honest is what it's all about. Don't hold resentment in. Holding resentment and talking about the situation without giving that person an opportunity to discuss it with them directly.
Mhm.
The only thing resentment does is affect you. It doesn't affect them. The only
Right.
thing, if you're upset with somebody, it only affects you. It doesn't affect them. So you hold it here. And if you're holding it here, then that builds up. And
Not
then
worth
the wall. But I'm optimistic because I'm always, and I think 95% of the time I come from a standpoint of being optimistic and having a strong mindset. Last Friday I had a complete and utter meltdown in the morning. I was like out of my mind, crazy. I was thought the world was coming to an end, and then I don't know. It took me probably a few hours, and by the end of the day I was okay. But I believe that people will rise to the top, the ones that want to, the ones that believe, the ones that have faith. And then the other ones, whether they're an agent or not relative, a broker, a realtor, whatever. It's not relative. It's relative to the human psyche of people's mindset and what they can accept and what they can move past, and to create for us to create stronger mental habits of being I'm going to say tough, that's not the right word, but resilient and persevere. And people that have done that and know how to do that will come out. It's our job to help lift them up, though. Lift up the people that aren't as weak, that aren't as strong as us, that are weaker. And that's what we have to do as a community. So that's the way that I'm looking at it. And I want to be the solution, to help those people in any way that I can.
If they can be helped, I agree with that.
Well,
And
every
my point,
Unless you try.
people
yeah,
the people that can be helped are the people that want to be helped, and so anyway, with that, I'm getting like a little emotional.
Well, that's because, Maria, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Gandhi. I wake up to that saying every morning. You must be the change.
100%. 100%.
yeah.
Well, I want to thank you both for your time. I know how we're all trying to get through all this together, and we got a lot of different things going on. So thanks for live streaming with me today. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and let's plan to do this again next week, Heather, with some more updates of what we have coming down.
What is that? A heart?
It's my heart.
That's a heart.
Oh, look, I can't do it. I'm upside
Like
down.
a bad heart.
I'm upside down.
I saw a heart and I saw a peach. You're welcome.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, guys.
You
Have a
too.
great weekend.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.